Welcome guys to this tutorial series where we are doing this animated human with the simulated clothes.
In this video I'm gonna show you how you can add earrings, glasses and a necklace to the avatar and how to make it stick to the avatar when it's animating. The jewelry and the glasses can be downloaded for free by following the link in the video description. I have parented the earrings to empties to make it easier to move them around, so you can manually move it in place to the ear. Now click the earring empty and then shift click the bone armature. Press Ctrl Tab to go into pose mode. Select the head bone, which is the closest bone to the earring, and then Ctrl P and then set parent to bone. And then you can press Ctrl Tab again to go out of the pose mode. And the exact same principle goes for the glasses. So take the empty, the armature, Ctrl Tab and pair it to this bone. Same thing goes if you want to add a ring, but you parent it to this bone called left hand ring 1. And the way to do a chain link is to add a torus. And then you take the edges of the torus here and you squeeze it with proportional editing, this one, to something like this. Then rotate it around the Z-axis with 45 degrees. And then we want to do an array. And to do this array we also need to apply the rotation, otherwise it will go in the wrong direction. So apply rotation, and then we want to modify the shape so they can hook into each other. So what we do is to take the vertices here on the bottom, and we move it up, something like this. Now we can increase the count, add a Bezier circle, apply the scale, and then set a curve modifier to the chain link. Select the circle. We use the X as our deform axis, but the links got distorted, so we may have to scale them like this. So Y axis to get them in the right size, and then we will also have to scale it on Z axis. So now when it looks good, we can increase the amount, and then we can switch the offset slightly just to make it merge together nicely here. Parent the links to the Bezier circle, set parent to object, keep transform, and then we can also smooth shade the links so they look better. The default resolution of a curve is quite low, so we can increase the resolution to avoid a choppy result. So we'll set 64. Now unparent the chain links from the Bezier circle again by pressing Alt P and clear and keep transform. Now we can edit the curve. If you want to gain more control of your Bezier curve, you can click two of the curve points, right click and then subdivide. And then we have another curve point, and we can do the same on the other side. And we want this chain link to be below the jacket, so we can temporarily hide the jacket or the whole clothes setup, and we try to put it as close as possible to the character body. And if you want to rotate the curve in certain areas, you select those curve points, you bring out the side panel here, and then you change the mean tilt. So make sure that the chain link is not popping out outside the clothes anywhere. And if it's really tight with the jacket, there is a small trick you can do. So click the jacket and then you see the solidify modifier here, and we can set an offset. So let's set this one to 3. And then the jacket is moving out a bit, so we have more space between the character and the jacket. When the chain is placed, it's time to adjust the amount of chain links again. So we go to the array, adjust the count so it lines up nicely here. Before you can parent the chain link to the armature, you have to make sure that you have applied all the modifiers. So the chain link should be a plain mesh. Now we're going to parent our chain link to the armature. And this is not going to work properly, so we will have to do a little bit of a workaround. But let's start to parent it. So we shift click here, go into the pose mode, and then we select a bone that is close to the chain link. So we can select this one, and then Ctrl P to open this parent menu and set the parent to bone. And we're not going to use the armature deform with automatic weights, because this is what is not working. So we choose a bone instead. And then we go out of the pose mode. And in this specific case, the animation will look good already now, because this area of the character's body is basically only controlled by the spine bone. So if we parent this chain link to the spine bone, it will also follow the way the body moves. If you want to check what bone is controlling which part of the body, you click the body and then you go into weight paint mode. Right now we are looking at the spine 2 bone, which was the bone we just talked about that controls this area. But let's say that the chain link would touch up in this area, then it would also be controlled by the neck bone. So now let's check the weights for the chain link. So we go out to object mode, then we select the chain link and go back to weight paint. And we see that this doesn't have any weight for the spine 2 bone. So what we want to do is to transfer the weights from the body to the chain link. And in this way, the chain link will move with the body no matter what bones are controlling it. So let's transfer the weight. So first we have to go to object mode, then we select the body and shift click on the chain link. Now we can go back into weight paint mode and we go to this menu called weights, and there is a command called transfer weights. Click this one and suddenly you see that the weights have been transferred from the body to the chain link. And this is the spine 2 that we are looking at. And if we are switching to another bone now, it's supposed to be blue here. So let's choose the hips. Yes, and then you see that this turns blue. So now let's go to object mode and look at the animation. Then I give the chain link a gold material, so it's a basic principal BSDF. The hex code is A58269 and I have full metallic and low roughness. So now the character has this chain link, tattoos, earrings and glasses, and it's time to bring back the hair that we created in an earlier video. And if you want to increase the realism of your avatar, you can also add these small hair particles to the skin. So first we have to add a new vertex group. We can name it hairs. And then we go into weight paint. And now we can paint where we want the hairs to be. Add a particle system. Set the number to 5000 and the segments to 5. Set all velocities to 0. Set Brownian to 0.001. Set render as path. I suggest to use the same material as the main hair. But to do that, you need to go to the material tab and add this material to the body. And once that is done, you can add it in this material list here. Now scroll down until you come to the vertex group. And then we choose the vertex group we created, both for the density and the length. So we choose hairs. And now you see that the hair is only appearing where we have painted. So let's check in the rendered view. So this is what it looks like, but they are a little bit too small and too regular. So what we're gonna do is to scroll up to the top again, and then we're gonna change the randomize value to 0.001. And now the hairs are longer and better distributed. Now our character is ready for rendering, and if you want you can tweak some small details and colors. What I did was to darken the metal of the buttons and also to add some texture to the tank top. So in the next video we're gonna build a render scene so we can make some cool animated shots of this guy.
Like, subscribe and share this tutorial with your friends. See you in the next video.